Hi everyone, hope you all are doing very well today. Thank you so much for joining us. It's like you always do. Thank you so much. Today is yet another episode of The Journey with Papa Chidenka. And today we are going to be discussing with someone who made it big from side hustles. Now, this person has a very inspirational story and a journey that I really relate to. And this is something that I want us to be part of because, they can teach us something that is going to help us in our personal journey and how we go through whatever we're going through right now, because we all know it's not easy out there right now. There's a whole lot of things going on in the world and a whole lot of reasons for you to give up, right? But we have to remember that one reason why we shouldn't give up. And one of the first reasons why we shouldn't give up is because we started for a reason, right? And so we should always remember the reason why we started whatever it is that we started, and it is for that reason that we focus and continue on the course that we have chosen, because we know it's going to be successful. So I'm waiting here right now to see if Adrian is going to join us soon. So let's wait to see when he joins us in a couple of minutes. Well, before Adrian comes, I'm going to tell you guys a little about Adrian. Adrian went from making money, doing a couple of things in the 9 to 5, the regular kind of job. You go to work in the morning, stay at work for 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours a day, depending on where you work. And then at the end of the day, you come back home and switch things up a little bit. And I want us to listen carefully to him as he tells us how he got this done. Hi, Adrian.
Hey, what's up?
I'm good, man. It's such a pleasure to meet you finally, at least through the phone.
Well, thanks for having me on, man. Are you staying healthy and safe during this time?
Doing the best I can, staying indoors, just taking care of myself and my family, people closest to me, and everything's been good so far. How have you been? How is everything with you?
Man, I'm doing good. I can't complain. I feel definitely very grateful and blessed right now. I know a lot of friends I know have lost their jobs or out of work, and
Right.
I took my business online. I've been full-time entrepreneur now for 5 years, and actually all my online businesses are actually like skyrocketing right now because everyone's at home. They can't go buy stuff in the
Right.
stores. They're buying stuff online.
Exactly.
So I feel very fortunate because I know a lot of people are struggling right now. But my wife and I, we were traveling the world before COVID happened. So the only big change is that we're kind of like bunkered down. So we're working from home. Actually, I don't know if she wants me to show her, but that's her right there. She's working side by side.
Cool. You guys are keeping it 100 at home. I like that.
I know. Yeah, no, not everyone can work side by side next to their girlfriend or wife.
Very true. That's a blessing. That's a good thing happening to you right here. Keep it up. So for the sake of millions out there that haven't come to know exactly who you are, can you please tell us who Adrian is and tell us a little about yourself and your background? That way people get to know who you are.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm 31 right now. When I was 21, I had just finished dancing for T-Pain. I used to be a professional dancer. I did like the robot.
Right.
And after that tour ended, I didn't want to continue on to be a professional dancer. I kind of scared me actually. There was a moment while I was on tour that really changed what I wanted to do. And it was T-Pain actually released a song. We were in backstage in Chicago. He released a new song on iTunes, and basically in 10 minutes, 1 million people downloaded it.
Oh, boy.
So in other words, I just watched this guy make like $1 million in 10 minutes.
Right beside you.
Right beside me, literally with a click, $1 million. So I was like, man, I got to figure out how to do that, because that's like a secret power. So when I got done with tour, I started my very first YouTube channel, which was basically teaching people how to dance. And when I clicked the button, nothing happened.
So there was no magic.
Oh man, there was no magic. So and there was no magic for a long time, actually. To be fully transparent, my mom was the only person watching my videos for at least the first half year.
Whoa, look at that.
I know. I got to give a big shout out to the mom.
That's right.
But I trekked on. And after a year and a half, I had probably 10,000 followers online, and I still, guess how much money I made? Zero.
Whoa.
After a year and a half, can you imagine? Like I was working hard trying to
Consistently with 10,000
yeah,
followers.
and nothing.
Whoa.
But then a subscriber of mine was like, Adrian, I really like your dance tutorials. Can you make a premium tutorial that I would actually pay, that goes into detail? And I
Right.
was like, okay. So I did it, and then on 2 years in, I finally launched it, and then that month, it was my first month. I broke $1,000 in 1 month,
Wow.
and so that was like a big moment for me, because it was like, wow, like
Finally. Money
finally,
coming in.
it's like money's coming in, and it's possible to actually sell something online that people want, and then you can grow a business off that. So
Very
that
true.
was that was the start. Now today, there's a lot of, this is like 8 years later.
Right.
I've become basically this mad scientist. Like I have $2 million companies, and my marketing agency that I have is a staff of 15 people, and then my online brands, I have dozens of staff of 4 people, and I basically sell so many different things online. I'm in like every single niche. I'm an affiliate partner for over 200 companies, and
Right.
my online brands alone make an average of like 50,000 a month from
Whoa.
running ads online. So it's been crazy, crazy. But
Wow.
humble beginnings, struggled for a long time, and now kind of found the formula for success today.
That's right. It's so amazing to hear this, because a whole lot of people are out there right now, and they are struggling with whatever they do. It might be what they believe in, like what you believed in, and then they look around and see that there's nobody helping them. For example, you said for a whole year and a half, even with 10,000 followers, you sold a $0. And you can imagine someone who thinks they're going to come online, get the followers, and start making money right away. It doesn't work like that. It
Definitely
doesn't
not.
work like that. You were a professional dancer. You traveled all over the world. You went on concerts with T-Pain. You were very popular, for dancing with T-Pain. How did dancing come about, and why did you choose to dance in the first place?
Yeah, good question. So I never danced growing up. I actually was like a little bit bullied in high school. So when I went to go to college, dance was like an outlet for me. And I remember I went to a b-boy battle where there was breakers, and they were spinning on their heads and doing all these tricks, and I was like, dang, that's awesome. I got to do that. So I guess it was from there. The other reason too, learning how to dance, I just didn't want to party and drink in college like everyone else. And so it became like my excuse to, like, when people say, hey, you want to go out party again? Like, no, I'm going to dance. I'm going to dance. I'm going to dance.
Right.
And then really how I became a professional was like literally, I think God's miracle, because I had only been dancing for 2 years, and T-Pain had an open call audition where you could submit a video online. So I submitted it, and I didn't think anything was going to happen. And I made it to the live audition, which was flown out in Florida. I was in Iowa. So I was like, I thought, that's it. I made it. Right. I made the audition.
Going from Iowa to Florida.
Yeah, success. And then when we got to Florida, he was only going to take one dancer, and there was amazing dancers there. One dancer who ended up becoming really famous, his name's Wildebeest. Wildebeest Adams is massive. He has millions of followers online. But so the last day, people were getting cut. I'm like, oh, I'm next. And then there's 10 people left. He said he's only going to take one, and then he's like, all right, everyone step forward. I'm like, okay.
That's it.
And he's like, you're all coming on tour. So he ended up taking 10 people.
Oh, look at that. That's amazing.
So I feel like, man, that's, if there's such thing, as just God's work and trying to put it out there, like, man, that was it. Because I did not deserve to be there for sure.
That's right. And that was how you made it into mainstream. So I read that you went from, mainstream dancer, being featured on TV, with T-Pain in his music videos, wherever he was traveling to, you were, always there with T-Pain. And then you went from there to working in a call center. What really happened?
Yeah, so it was at that time when I was like 21, and I didn't want to move to LA. I stayed in Iowa, but I wanted to grow my first online business. So that was my YouTube channel. But so, to dance with T-Pain and put that on your resume is really cool when you're in LA. But when
Of
you're in
course.
Iowa, it's like what, how's this relevant here in Iowa? So I had to get a job, right? Because I'm a broke college kid.
Right.
And just recently graduated. So I got a job at a call center. I was making $27,000 a year. And every time I clocked out at 3 p.m., from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., I would work on my YouTube channel, create dance tutorials, and start my business.
Right.
So again, that was the year and a half and 2 years of doing that while being at the call center until I made $1,000. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, that was the grind. That was the beginning. It's still a grind today, but I always tell people, we see these people, and I'm probably guilty of it too. I'll post a result of hey, on TikTok, I'm blowing up right now. I've gone viral multiple times.
Right.
And unfortunately, the tactics that I use, it's hey, I made $1 million, and here's a screenshot of the $1 million in income. And so people see that, and then they get started, and then next week they're not a millionaire, and they're like, ah. It's dude, what that took 10 years to get
that. Exactly.
Right. So but starting my first YouTube channel, uploading your first video, getting your first subscriber, it's these small steps that build into massive momentum. So I always tell people, I know we're all busy, we have priorities, we have family, we have bills to pay, but if you just take a little bit of action every day on your goal, your side hustle, your dream, whatever it is, you want to be a musician, a little bit of effort every day is what I've done for the last 10 years. And now it's just come in a massive way because I never stopped the momentum. I can say every single day I've done at least one thing to work on my goals.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Now, if you're out there in the audience watching us right now, this is Adrian. If you're just joining us, this is the man who made $1 million from side hustles in 1 year. So we're gonna go deeper a little bit so that Adrian can tell us more about this. And if you're there, please hang on and stick with this as we go through the next question. My next question for you is, what is the biggest mistake that you ever made in your life or career? And can you explain how it became a mistake and what you think about it so people can learn from this?
Yeah, I think the first thing for me is I wish I would have started sooner. And that's something that you hear from a lot of successful people.
True.
Because at the beginning, you have a lot of mental barriers you have to get rid of because you're trying something new. It's scary. If you fail and you've never failed before, then that could hold you back. You might get made fun of. In fact, all these things I'm listing, all of them happened to me. My friends, they thought dancing, some of my closest friends, they thought what the hell are you dancing, man? Just come out and, party with us.
Right.
My first internship boss, when I told him I was being interviewed and I told him that I have a YouTube channel with 5,000 followers, he laughed at me. He was like, you're never going to make money from that.
Whoa.
So you have to, this is just part of the process of trying to live a different life, is you're going to have to deal with people who are, they have their own insecurities, but they project them onto you.
Very true.
So the mistake is buying into what other people think and letting that hold you back from getting started. Because again, getting started is just the first step. Then you have to work, and then you have to get smarter and smarter. But if you are constantly listening and caring what other people think about, you'll just never get started.
True.
And so for me, that specifically happened to me in high school. I always wanted to dance, and I didn't because I was afraid of what other people thought. But yeah, so that's a big one. And then I think the other thing from a mistake would be in terms of building an online following and trying to monetize and trying to actually make a living online.
Right.
I was really passionate about creating content and doing all the fun, sexy stuff, but I forgot to ask a very fundamental question, which is, how do you make money
out of this?
I was like, I'm making dance tutorials and having so much fun, but I wasn't making any money. It's because I never even asked. And I was 2 years in, and I still didn't ask. But a subscriber told me, hey, you should make this product where a 60-minute dance tutorial for $25. He literally told me that idea. I was like, look at that. That's a good idea. And now I still launch different side hustles and projects all the time. And that's the first question I begin with. How do I make money? Because you got to have that plan that you're working for.
That's right.
And there's no wrong answer, but you have to have realistic expectations. You know, are you going to sell something? Are you going to sell someone else's product? Are you going to become a coach? Are you going to, you know, get brand deals? All those are good answers, but you got to ask that question, because then everything you do should be working towards that goal.
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for explaining this to us. Now, in 2009, or was it 2010, you posted a dance video of yourself that went viral.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever, you know, think it was going to get that viral, and were you prepared for that at that moment?
So getting viral for sure is majority luck, right? Absolutely. I don't know the secret. I have gone viral now multiple times, and all I can say is 100% you will not go viral if you do not create content, guaranteed. But if you do a little bit of research and strategy about what's trending and you tie it to your content, you have a better chance of it blowing up or getting more visibility. So that's what I was doing with dance. I figured out it was actually a Justin Timberlake when he took his hiatus for 10 years and he dropped his first album, Suit and Tie. And like, so he had not made music in a long time. And so I just knew whatever he makes is going to be hot. So
everybody's going to want to see that.
So he dropped his album, and I was the first person to make a video on YouTube to Suit and Tie.
That makes sense.
And I uploaded. So everyone's looking for the song, and they were seeing my video because I was the first one.
And they keep watching your video too.
and then boom, it was like 20,000 followers in a day, and then millions of views. Yeah.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah, I did that a couple times with, like, when Skrillex dropped out new albums and everyone dropped new albums. I was like really starting to pay attention to, like, do I think this artist is going to be out? And then, like, when that happens, like, you got to pull all-nighter, because, like, you got to, like, learn the song, then you got to make some choreography, and then
that's right. You some moves too and all that. Yeah. That's great. That's great. So you went from being this person who, you know, originally was dancing with T-Pain, then you worked, then you decided you wanted to do something for yourself. At what point did you decide you wanted to rekindle the love you had for your passion? Because you have an original passion that you were working at, right? And then, you know, you went from there because you're trying to make money, just like everyone else is trying to make money. And sometimes distractions set in. And with these distractions, then you might not stick to what your passion is. How were you able to do all this and still go back to what you really had a passion for originally?
I think for me, dance, I got really lucky to become a professional. But to me, the art of dance as an exercise for your brain and your body, like that, to me is always something that I'll always have forever. And I think as you grow older, your passions change, you know?
Very true.
I'm not as passionate as a dancer as it was when I was 21, 10 years ago.
Right.
Like, I used to think and eat, sleep. I'd wake up doing, like, arm waves, like, you know, I don't do that anymore, but I still love music. I love dance. And now, like, my passion, what I didn't know is when I was creating my dance tutorials, I would start building these people. You know, when you create content, you actually help people, right? It's amazing. And it's amazing that you can actually make good money doing that. It's the best business to be in the world, I think, is to make a positive impact. So after my YouTube channel was now, like, you know, a little bigger, 80,000 followers, and I've been doing it for 5 years, I had known kids who were in high school that were the shy guy, the shy girl, and then they graduated and they would send me their stories. Like, when I was at prom, I went in the circle and everyone loved it. I danced for the talent show, and, like, no one thought I even knew how to do it. Now everyone loves it. I even have this one story I'll never forget. This girl who was very depressed, and she was actually thinking of taking her life. For some reason, she came across my dance tutorial, started learning popping, and then she actually found her passion through dance and went to school for dance.
Look at that.
And, like, all I can say is, like, that's one story right there that makes it all worth it, you know? Like, screw the money, everything, just that one story makes it worth it. So, like, that's what I always say is, like, when you create your content, you have no idea who's going to actually see it and how it will make an impact on them. So the passion that I got from all those stories was, like, man, I love teaching. And that's where I'm at right now today, is now I'm coaching and teaching people. I have courses, but it's not on dance now. It's actually helping other people how to start their own online side business or business.
That's amazing. Now, one thing I learned from what you just said right now is when we're younger, we might have a different passion and something we're working on. And as we gravitate towards maturity and excellence, sometimes the passions do change because you see a different light and a different way in which you can help others. Because right now, your passion is, towards helping others get to start making a business for themselves, start making money and earning a living like you were able to do. Because this is something you perfected and became excellent at, over the years. And people sometimes want to stick to their passion because they believe that thing they wanted to do right from when they were 12 years old is what they're supposed to do for the rest of their life. But that's a big mistake that a whole lot of people do make. And I've learned that from your words that sometimes we might need to make a shift as to what our passion really is as we mature. Am I right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for teaching us this. This is amazing. I really appreciate the fact that you were here on this show, and let's move forward. Now,
that sounds good.
I remember the part when you and your wife or your partner decided to sell your house and everything you didn't need. And then you started a journey of traveling the whole world, right? And then did you fear about the unknown and like any kind of uncertainty at that point? Because you're selling off your house and you're just going.
Yeah. Well, it's still something we're living today. So that was a couple of years ago. I always wanted to, actually, when I got started, there was a book I read called The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. And this book was this is like a big reason why I am living this lifestyle, is because that book planted the idea that it was possible to basically work online, make an amazing living and not be tied to a 9-to-5 or a location. So like 2 years ago was finally the first opportunity where my wife and I could take that journey, actually travel the world. And of course it was scary. It's very different. Like even like right now, like my wife and I, everything we own belongs in a couple suitcases. We don't own a home, or much of anything, but we're very rich in experiences. We traveled everywhere. Last year we spent all of it in Europe, and we don't have kids yet. We want to have kids, eventually, but I think it's very different because like when you talk to people, like the traditional way of working a 9-to-5, you get a house, you get married, you have kids, you start like, and then you stay at working there for 30 years, there's a different way. And so sometimes it's challenging to people, but I just, I always just think of like asking the questions like, is this what you're supposed to be doing? Is this the only way? Is there another way? And so that book, The 4-Hour Work Week, told me that there was another way, and we're trying it. We're 2 years in, and there's been some amazing moments. There's also been some very frustrating moments as well. But man, it's been absolutely amazing to do this, especially with a partner. With my wife, it's been super awesome. During the coronavirus, so like we're buckled down. So this is the first time we're staying in one place. But yeah, it's been an amazing journey. I'm very grateful that I've found out how to make a living online, and we're living it up right now. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for telling us that. Now, let's get down to business, Adrian. You were the guy who made $1 million in a year from side hustles, and you won a couple of awards. You won awards, and you were given a whole lot of accolades. Pictures of you popped up online. About you receiving the award for being, the guy who made $1 million in 1 year, because that is a feat not everybody can achieve, literally. Now, share this with us. How did this happen? How did this come about? And how can we, learn from this and be one of those people who looks to other hustles that can make us money in 1 year?
Great question. This is everyone, I don't know anyone who would not want to do that, right? The first thing I would say is you have to be careful, right? When you create an online business, it could be amazing, it could be joyful, it could be something you're passionate about. And unfortunately, there's people who take advantage of those dreams and aspirations, and they sell you the dream, but then they sell you a bag of goods that are very unrealistic. So I just share with you like my journey to get here. Although it was 7 figures in 1 year, I've been doing this for 10 years, right? So I didn't just wake up and like made a website and $1 million came in. So I think what I'll say right now is everyone has a different situation and a different skill sets. Some people have money right now. Some people are strapped for cash. Some people are great on camera like you. Some people would be like, I would never want to be on video. So the
Right.
good news is there's different types of online side hustles that can appeal to whatever your skill sets are. And there's some side hustles and online businesses that you can actually start for free. One that I talk about often is if you're good at anything and you can teach about anything, I mean anything, like how to go on a date, how to cook,
Right.
like how to dress,
Right.
how to shave. I need to shave, by the way. Like any of these things, you can create a free mini class on Skillshare, and Skillshare is a website that is just full of all these mini classes, and you for free you can go and create a class or whatever you're good at. And it's a great way if you just have a couple hours a day and you're good at something, you can just teach whatever that is, and it could be literally anything. You find the strangest courses and people are making money in weird ways there. It's a great side hustle. Otherwise, you know, but to do that side hustle, you're not. That's a long-term side hustle. You start creating a class every single week, and then after 6 months, it could actually produce $1,000 a month. That's awesome. But again, that's 6 months to get there. But if you don't have any money, it's the perfect place to start. And then if you do have money, then or a little bit of a cash flow, then there's ways you can invest minimally with little risk and try to scale up. But the first thing for sure is you got to do research and learn, and you also have to be careful too, because some people online take advantage of those dreams. But that's a very specific example of Skillshare. I point a lot of people to that website. I have classes on Skillshare too.
Right. You know, a whole lot of, like you just said, thank you so much for saying this, because a whole lot of people take advantage of the fact that people really want to make money, and then they put out so much content out there. They tell you how they were able to make $30,000 from one sale, $500,000 from this, and blah, blah, blah. And you just made a very valid point. We have to be careful what kind of content we are taking in and what kind of thing we are, you know, taking it from these people out there, because there's still people out there who want to take advantage, and not everybody is as sincere as you are, who just wants to help the person discover what they're good at and, you know, make money doing this online, you know, at their own pace, and, you know, at whatever time they want to do this and still be able to profit off it, if you get what I'm saying. So it's something I want our audience and, you know, the followers, audience, and family listening to us right now, please put this into practice, because it's so important that you do this so that you don't make no crazy mistakes. That's why we have people like Adrian here, because they've been through this and they're able to lead us through that part so that we don't go through making those same mistakes. Now, you were able to discover the power of unimaginable scale through the internet and social media. How did this come about?
Well, I think Google literally is your best friend. You can learn anything, I think, online. I have all my education. I did go to college, but I didn't learn about what I do today from college. I learned from all the amazing people who take time to create content for free about online business, how to start an e-commerce store, how to sell stuff on Etsy, how to be a YouTuber, right? You literally, you cannot, there's so much information. Then that's also the problem, is that there's too much information. How do you know what's good and not? But literally, you can go to Google, and whatever your aspirations are, like how to be a full-time teacher online, how to sell candles online, whatever you do, you can Google that. And if anything, I'm a really good Googler, because anytime I have a question, I go to Google and I type in, I learn, and I spend hours. I probably read an hour or two every day of just learning, whether it's like physical books or blogs, or just trying to get better. Like, and I'm a really big, I think what separates me from a lot of people, people will say, how do you get so much done? Or it's because I spend more time taking action than I do thinking. For example, TikTok is like a massive platform that is blowing up. I've been posting 6 times a day. I'm just working harder than 6 times a day. I'm working harder than most people. And from TikTok, I have probably 5 million views in the last 30 days. I just passed 100,000 followers. Wow. And I've been able to monetize over like 50 grand from TikTok. So I'm using it. But again, most people are not posting 6 times a day, right? So it just becomes, I just take action on what I learn as fast as I can. And I would recommend for others to do the same, because you can spend a lot of time thinking and dreaming and researching, but if you never take action, you're not putting that into motion yet, you know?
That makes sense. A whole lot of people commenting, and that's why he says, you inspired me and I started animation. Nola was asking the name of the book, and I think it's a 4-hour work week.
Yeah, 4-hour work week. Let me see if I have it. No, I don't. I don't have it, unfortunately.
No problem.
Yeah, 4-hour work week.
4-hour work week. Now, a lot of people showing a whole lot of love to you. many people saying you dishing out so much wisdom. They're so glad that they were able to make it here today to listen to you. So
That's awesome.
you pose this alternative way of living. You let the 9 to 5 conventional job that a whole lot of people are stuck to for the rest of their life until they get retired at 65 or 70, and you decided to do something that you love and you make money from it. But today, a whole lot of people are scared generally to lose a job that's paying their bills, and this is why a whole lot of us are stuck, because we want to be able to put food on the table, pay our bills, do this and do that, and then we think too hard, like you say, and we're like, oh, what if I lose my job and stick to what I want to do right now? How can I make it happen? What if I'm stuck? What if I can't pay my rent? How can this perspective be changed?
Yeah, these are all great questions. I can't say I was the best person at the beginning of being mentally strong, but it's something I wish I can just encourage other people, because more than anything, when you try to do anything that's out of the norm, you're going to fail a lot. And
Right.
you have to, that's a muscle that you have to build, just like a bicep muscle,
Right.
At the beginning, you're going to be sore personally, your ego, but you have to keep training that. I don't want to say keep failing, but you have to keep training that muscle until it doesn't bother you or affect you. Like my YouTube platform, like I always show, like this is the hardest thing I've ever had to work for, because I uploaded 300 videos. It took me 2 years to make money from here, and then I did it for 5-6 years creating dance videos. So like that's a lot of work.
Wow.
That's all this is, a lot of work. And the amount of times that I failed, especially those 2 years, I'm like, gosh, like I thought I should have been making money for now, and not. And then like all the hate, people said, online, people like, what are you doing? You dance bad, you're ugly, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like that's all stuff that's building that muscle of just mental resilience. So again, I think I wish I could tell you the secret words to say to yourself to ignore it, but really, I think the best thing I can encourage you to do is just to get started, because then you're going to start building those muscles that can help give you that confidence to keep trying despite failure.
Nice. By the way, how did it feel when you received that YouTube plaque?
Well, I mean, like for sure, like I think I've had amazing paydays. I had a record last year, and one day I was paid from affiliate marketing, which is one of my side hustles. It was like $30,000 in one day. It was a record, like blew my mind. But this award was still worth more, because this represents my first online business. It represents like getting started. It's like building the dream was right here. Like this award means more than anything I own, because of how hard I work for it. So it's a good reminder that not everything is easy, and you have to keep at it and keep working. But yeah, so it felt amazing. It was like a dream come true,
Right. So Adrian, what is your ultimate goal in life? Because you've been helping thousands of people right now. I see that you help people force a whole lot of transformation in their lives, right? Because when you're not transformed as to what you believe in before that's not working, it's difficult for you to do something that really works, if I'm right? And you are helping a whole lot of people right now. You're giving them online classes. Can you tell us about those things you do right now that are your ultimate goals, and how it can affect people? And people out there can, go to your page, join what you do, be a part of what you do, because they know that you're going to help them be better people.
Yeah, awesome. Right now, I think when I think of what am I trying to do, what am I doing right now, is it the right thing? I feel really empowered lately, because I just launched my beginner course, which helps teach people 10 different side hustles to get started. And the whole reason I launched this was on TikTok, all this new audience, people were like asking me, how am I doing? What am I doing? And they kept saying, I bought these other guys' courses and I didn't learn anything, and then they didn't refund me. And I just like, man, I think I got to make it my mission to create something that's going to help people, and price it in a way that it's a commitment, but it's not unreachable. I've had over 700 people take my course so far since I launched it a few months ago. So and the feedback has been amazing. It's absolutely awesome. I've had 0 refunds because everyone that's taken it so far just feels like it's a massive amount of value.
Wow.
And I'm really proud of that. So I feel like right now I can think about helping other people in a way of starting starting their side hustle. And
Right.
not everyone, it's about money. I have a dad and a son come to mind who they just wanted a hobby that they could bond. So they're starting an Etsy store making like art.
Right.
So like, and if they make money, it's awesome for them, but it's not the end goal. But so there's all kinds of stories there. Of course, there's a lot of people who they're working a 9 to 5 and they want to get out of that. So that's the majority of people. And man, if I've had a couple successes, and like those make it all worth it, you know. But yeah, I feel like right now I'm set on helping other people, creating content, and teaching people how to be smart with their time and with their money.
Amazing. Thank you so much for doing this, because you're really leading people towards success, because a lot of people are out there who want to have something that is genuine, something unique, something they're going to work on, but it's so hard for them to get, you know, something original from a good source. Like you said, there's a lot of people out there who also have content, but their content is very it's not the truth, so to say. You know, it's very deceiving. They might tell you they're giving up this thing, and at the end of the day, you don't get value for what they give you, and you don't get your refunds and all that. And it's really affected a whole lot of people, because people get scared of, you know, what's going on online, how to get a course and all that. But people like you make it possible for us to be able to buy this course, benefit from it, and also be able to, you know, apply these things that's going to help our lives. So is there a story about your journey that you will always remember from being a force of transformation or change in your life? And can you share this with us?
I think there's something happened in the last year which always been a dream of mine, and that was to actually hire my dad. And so last year he's like now my business manager.
I see you
So
guys on Instagram.
yeah, so it's been a blast, and I think that's to me something that's really cool. I think my goals are very non-traditional. Like I see a lot of people who like their goal is to own like a Lamborghini, like, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm not saying that shouldn't be your goal, but like my goal, one of my biggest goals was to like hire my dad. And so like now he's working, and it's we have a blast together, and we bonded in a cool new way. And I want to like I want to get a car, but I don't want to get it for myself. I want to get it for like, you know, my sister or
Right.
my family. So like those are my goals. And so having that first really big dream come true, to now like trying to where my dad's working, that's been that's a big story. I don't know, I'll never forget that, probably, you know.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Now, how can you explain to the thousands and millions of people out there who still have this kind of uncertainty about what they're doing right now in their lives? How can you convince such people that their dreams and their visions are still valid?
Yeah, not everyone is meant to do what I do. Some people would hate it. Some people like going to a 9 to 5. So I think what you just have to figure out is like what really fulfills you and gives you purpose. You may not know the whole answer right now, but I think the point is to try different things, to try and challenge yourself. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're not happy, you know, then keep doing it is the definition of crazy.
Right.
So you have to keep trying new things. And so like one thing I think one of the best things you can do is read, because reading, it gives you perspective of people who live very different lifestyles, who have accomplished a lot. And I have a couple books. So like, give me 1 second.
No
This
problem.
right here's this is a really good book called The One Thing.
The one
And so
thing.
yeah, it's super good about like your vocation, to figure out truly what gives you purpose.
Right.
And so like this, reading this book would help you. You know, I can't tell you the secret on an Instagram live, but my challenge would be like, if you're frustrated with your life right now, like start reading books about other people who've found fulfillment. How did they do it? What did they do? How did they overcome? So like I constantly read. I read probably a book a week, you know.
Wow. So even with your busy schedule and everything, you still have time to read a book every week. That's
Absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So for people asking, the name of the book is The One Thing.
Mm-hmm.
The One Thing. And we thank you so much, Adrian, for making this possible, for being part of this Instagram live. Thank you so much for sharing all this dreams and journeys that you've been through. And we thank you so much for, aligning something that we all can, follow through that is going to be able to help us. And this is not the last time we're going to see you on this show. We're still going to have you back on this show very soon because we know you're like a moving train. There's always something new going on with you, and there's always progress. And we want to be able to touch base with you to see how much progress has, been experienced between now and next time we talk. And for all those people out there who want to be part of Adrian's lifestyle, Adrian is giving out his online classes. You want to be part of this. This is something that is literally going to change your life. So follow Adrian, be part of what he does, and you can shoot him a DM and ask whatever questions you have. If you have any questions to ask right now, that is fine. And we're going to tell Adrian to give us some parting expressions and words for today.
Hey, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Doing live streams right now, especially because we're all locked up, it's kind of the only ways I can meet other friendly faces.
Right.
So definitely looking forward to coming back here, and I wish you the best of good luck. All I can say right now as a parting words is to right now is actually the best time to probably start an online business because everyone's at home. So just think about that.
That's right. Thank you so much for being here, Adrian.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure. I hope to see you again soon.
Sounds like a plan.
And say hello to your wifey.
Will do. Bye.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for being part of this show, Adrian. It's been a wonderful thing. So, guys, it's been a beautiful session with Adrian, and I hope we all are going to practice whatever it is that has been stated today. We want to be able to apply things that we learn because that's the only way we're going to make it forward in life. So, guys, get it together. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, if you have the opportunity that the pandemic is keeping us at home and we have time for ourselves to make ourselves better people, why not? You get it? So put in all the time you can into reading, into self-development, into taking courses that are really going to change your life. You can be a better person, and whatever it is that you have as your vision, whatever it is that you have right now, that is a vision you want to take to greater heights, keep working on it, because this is really going to change things in your life. The better you become as a person, the better it affects people around you, and then the better your life is going to be. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Didi Asari, I see you. Nuggets of entrepreneurial wisdom, we appreciate that. Congrats to everyone who joined us on this show and are part of this Instagram Live with Papa Jidenka. We have someone else coming up on this show in less than 1 hour, which will be by 2 p.m. my time in New York, and that will be about 7 p.m. in Nigeria. I'll see you guys soon. Have a wonderful day and take care of yourselves. See you soon.